it was fine, that there was no worries. I mean, I'll put a link in the sidebar to her experience. You should really watch it if you're interested in it. And I think doing that 2 or 3 times, if I have to, if it does reach stenos, I'm willing to do it. Anyway, so that was his point, that he's definitely behind venoplasty. Now, to find it, I did not know this, but he does not think MRVs are the gold standard. He thinks catheter venography is. He says because catheter venography, MRV is only a one-dimensional thing, and they're harder to see the smaller veins in your neck to see if they're stenosed as well. He says catheter venography is the gold standard because they're able to see more detail, they're able to see, move it, and they can see a 3D view of your veins. He says the color Doppler is good too, is key to find reflux. The next thing he started to talk about was things in progress. He is starting a new study, a blinded study. So a blinded study is the patient does not know if they've had the treatment or not. So I guess they will be knocked out, or half the people will get it, half the people won't, and then they will see the outcomes, and they will find if it's placebo effect or not. And that would definitely crush that argument. Basically, they're looking at more advanced MRI treatments, more advanced MRI techniques, which is good. So then that's all he had to say. And I'm very thankful that he came and did this for us. You can tell he's very passionate about it, and I'm just really happy that he decided to come out and fight the liberation war, fight to help us. The next person on the stand was Zvadnov. And he is, I think, from Buffalo. And he had to say that he's looking into more studies, that he's looking that we may have this from birth, but so he's looking for genetic links. The word's in my head, but I can't find it. Okay, and he just explained the breakdown of the study they had already done and things like that. And he does not think that there's a genetic relationship, but he's doing a study, and he's testing people with MS and the people that do have signs of CCSVI. He's testing their family and seeing if they have signs and things like that. So he's studying into that. And he's also doing a study for the spinal cord lesions. He wants to look at the veins down our spinal cord to see if they're stenosed, to see why the lesions in the spinal cord develop. So he wants to do a study for that, and he says he's really excited about it, which is good for us. The next person to come up was Dr. Common, and he is a radiologist, interventional radiologist. He basically is just the one that looks at the MRVs and venographies and things like that, and decides that he also would do the venoplasty or the angioplasty. And he explained that the veins, that the one main difference between an angioplasty and angioplasty from the veins is that arteries tend to have muscles around them. They tend to be thicker, and the veins do not have muscles around them, so that you would just have to be more gentle when expanding the balloon and when it stretching the vein out. So you just have to be careful. But it's much less risk than a stent. So much less risk. So that was good. He just reinstated his opinions on that. Then they took questions from the audience, and And one person asked, well, he didn't ask. He said, this is a comment, not a question. And he said, there's other people that have iron deposits in their brain and they don't have MS. You know, why do you think that iron deposits in the brain cause MS and things like that? And Dr. Zamboni just kind of, I don't want to put words in his mouth. I don't want to say he did something that he didn't. Please go watch the interview yourself if you're interested about it. These are just what I think about it. If you disagree, make a video response, write a comment, things like that. But I think he felt very passionate about, no, this is it. This is the cause of MS. I think he felt very passionate about it. And the narrator, the person running the forum, had to say, you know, we got to take real questions and not start a debate. So the next question was, should we stop medication? Again, it was no, we shouldn't stop medication. We should not stop something that's proven and has helped so many people and so on and so forth. He basically said this is or what I take from it, this might just stop the progression. If it doesn't help, it just will hopefully just stop the progression of the disease. So hopefully that's true. The next question, is there anything else that would help with the venous narrowing other than surgery, other than angioplasty? And the interventional radiologist said no, not that he has heard of or not that he's researched, only the venoplasty and stents he's heard of to help it at all. For now. The next question was to Dr. Common, I think. Or he answered it. The next one was, do you think it's placebo effect? He said, he thinks so. He thinks maybe there's definitely a placebo effect in any type of study. He basically said maybe. And the next question was, is there any signs that we should be looking for CCSVI that, you know, we might have having MS? And he said optic neuritis may be one of evidence of the narrowing. Dr. Svednoff said that. Another question was to the direction of, should we do outside trials? What do you think of the people going outside their country and paying thousands of dollars to have this done? They said that it's not a good idea. They don't trust in it. They don't know if it's safe. They don't know if the person is registered to do it. And they said, make sure your tests are registered. It would be better if you were in a clinical trial. Pardon me. Excuse me. And there was a question from somebody I watch and I read their blog, Wheelchair Kamikaze. And he said, what about things that isn't explained yet about female to male ratio? Why do more females get it? And the response was, well, we think, we're not sure, we haven't done a study or anything. We think it's females have more delicate veins, more small veins than males do, so females tend to get it more than males do. They are also looking into Epstein-Barr and things like that. So he said, we're going to do a study. The last question was, what can the MS community do to help research, do to speed this along? And Dr. Common said that the Multiple Sclerosis Society would like people to push funding, find funding, write for funding for research. So apparently that's what we can do. Again, these are just my views